I didn't plan on watching this video. It literally just popped to my feed as I started the stream. But I heard the name Classic Plus Camelot has arrived and it has been leaked. Apparently, this is the name for Classic Plus, potentially. Maybe Blizzard were just confused and they meant to say Camelot.
Plus might actually
I don't
be
know.
real. We might already know what it's called. And the way the leak is structured is telling us things that I don't think most of the coverage is going to slow down on. If I'm getting anything wrong here, drop it in the comments. This is breaking as I'm recording, and I'd rather correct than leave a wrong video up.
That's kind of a weird champ, but
A
sure.
user on Twitter named Steven posted that new Heroic and Epic Edition licenses for something called World of Warcraft Camelot have been
Yes.
pushed to the back end of Blizzard's licensing system. He followed it up by saying he'd looked more carefully and could confirm with certainty that patch 1.60 is internally named Mainline Camelot. That's a really specific claim, and it's verifiable because the way Blizzard's licensing system works, this is exactly how previous expansions have leaked before their official reveals. Dragonflight leaked through this same channel back in 2022, where the source code on the website pointed to the name and the Heroic and Epic Edition tiers got pushed to the backend before marketing said anything publicly.
Yeah, I think it's leaked by accident, surely. Yeah, I think Blizzard is trying to create hype. It's all the more goes to show that Classic Plus will most likely, like 99% chance, will be revealed at this year's BlizzCon. They even made it a bit earlier. It's on September now, I believe. So yeah, it will be revealed. Man, they're desperate for money, aren't they? They really want to cash in on those dejected Turtle Wow Andes. That's why they're cleaning house and they're literally purging every single private server that even mentions classic World of Warcraft.
Same pattern repeating now.
Yeah, Warmane is
So if you've
shaking.
been wondering whether Classic Plus is actually coming, the answer is starting to look like yes.
Yeah, I'm so ready to be heard by Blizzard again.
Now let me be
Yeah,
honest about something,
me too.
because I almost made this mistake earlier today. Camelot is almost certainly an internal codename, not the consumer-facing product name. Blizzard's done this forever. Project Titan became Overwatch. Codenames let development teams have their own identity for what they're building.
Yeah, but Project Titan became Overwatch because Jeff Kaplan was in charge. Now you have Labubu Millennials taking the mantle and they can't make a good game with their current IP. Are you trusting the same people to give you a good Classic Plus experience? Because I sure as hell not. Unless some of Turtle WoW developers actually went and integrated into Blizzard, I don't see that happening anytime soon. As far as I understand it, Turtle WoW developers are creating their own MMO now, so I don't think that's the case.
But they don't necessarily survive into marketing. So what does the codename actually tell us? It tells us what the dev team thinks they're making. They're not calling it Classic Fresh 3 or Anniversary Servers 2. They're calling it Camelot. The mythical perfect kingdom. The place everyone remembers as better than it actually was. That's the emotional register the developers think they're working in, even if the marketers package it differently at BlizzCon. But here's where the licensing leak is genuinely useful, and where I think the bigger story actually lives. Heroic and Epic Edition licenses don't get pushed unless there are going to be Heroic and Epic Editions, and that's where we should slow down.
Again, we're starting with editions. Like, what is that?
Let me walk you through what Heroic and Epic Editions have historically meant on retail WoW, because
Heroic is if you're no, you have okay, so basically Blizzard is doing like weird names like Heroic and Epic Edition. So in reality, it's like you have Poor Edition, which is I don't know, it's under the guise of base. This is like you just get the game and that's it. Then you have Heroic, which is slightly less poor, or maybe like a below average household. That is like the Heroic. And then you have Mega Baby Whale Loser, Basement Dweller. And that like is the most epic version, right? And that's where you get the good stuff. That's where you get the to actually play the game a few days earlier. That is good. That is what you want. That is the moneymaker, and that's how Blizzard still thrives to this day.
this is where the leak gets sharper. For the War Within in 2024, the base edition was $49.99. That's the expansion itself. The Heroic Edition was $69.99 and
Nice.
it added a mount, a transmog set, and some traders tender for the cash shop. The Epic Edition was $89.99 and it added beta access, 30 days of game time, more cosmetics, and crucially, 3 days of early access to the expansion. Midnight shipped earlier this year with the same exact structure, same tier names, same price.
Imagine paying extra to play WoW more. That's crazy. Like, who? I can't even conceptualize that. You would pay extra to play 3 World of Warcraft days earlier? Why would you put yourself in such a suffering? And to what point, too? The game is gate kept anyway. You're gonna reach the red stop line first? I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, paying to be an alpha tester, exactly. Like, these people, man, they're morons. I can't believe that. It's so pathetic. Who would actually opt for this? It's insanity. And that's why whenever I speak about this topic and Blizzard audience like constantly purchase this regurgitated garbage, you can't talk to these people. You can't make do with them. You can't convince them that what they're doing is wrong and they're supporting bad malicious behavior because they're out of your realm of like interaction. They're in a completely different universe.
Same gating. Epic is the only tier that lets you start playing early. The pattern is consistent across the last 2 expansions, which means we have a real basis for predicting what the Camelot tiers might contain. Here's where it gets uncomfortable for Classic Plus specifically. What could Heroic and Epic editions actually contain without breaking Classic immersion immediately? For retail, cosmetic mounts and pets
It
and
will.
transmog sets fit, because retail already has thousands of them. Classic
Yep.
doesn't really work.
If anyone has any sort of delusion that Classic Plus would be purged of WoW tokens and cash up mounts, you're just deluding yourself. I'm telling you right now. It's going to have these exact issues as retail has day one. Bots are gonna go rampant, people are gonna go crazy, and it's going to be so bad. I'm already calling it.
That way. And then there's early access. 3 days of early access in retail means cosmetics you can grind, levels you can earn, mythic plus dungeons you can prepare for. In a classic environment, 3 days of early access means server first achievements paid for in cash, gold accumulated before everyone else logs in, auction house positioning that the rest of the player base has to compete with from behind, rare drops sniped by people who paid for the head start.
Yes?
If Camelot ships with paid early access on a classic-style server, the design philosophy of a level playing field, of community progressing together, of everyone starting in the same place, that philosophy is dead before long.
Just don't be poor. Like, this guy's weirds me out, man. Like, why is he talking about fairness and equality in our game? Like, just don't be poor. It's that simple. Like, oh my god. Like, do I have to spell it out for you? Dude, Blizzard is making some seriously great moves. If I'm richer in real life and if I'm wealthier, I should have more than you. You're a nobody. Like, oh my god, dude, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. People talking about equality, talking about financial advantage. Insane. In my woke game, how dare you?
Launch. Not slowly eroded, dead.
How dare
The
you?
whole point of Classic, the whole reason the audience came back for it, was that you couldn't buy your way past other players. Premium editions with early access would invert that. I don't know yet what Blizzard is going to put inside those tiers. The licenses being pushed doesn't tell us the contents, but the licenses do tell us those tiers are coming, and given the pattern, given what these tiers have meant for the last several expansions, given the absence of any signal that Blizzard is changing the model for a classic product, the skepticism is earned.
Who already paid?
And here's the part of this conversation I think gets missed in the excited. Would you pay for a Classic Plus discourse that's about to flood the WoW corner of the internet over the next few days? I've been seeing comments under leaked posts where people say things like I'd pay good money for actual Classic Plus, which is a sentiment I understand, and I get where it comes from, but it's also not really right, because the people saying that are mostly people who have been paying their World of Warcraft subscription continuously for years, through Cataclysm Classic, through Anniversary servers, through Mists of Pandaria Classic, when that landed, through whatever the next re-release is going to be. They've been paying for a long time, sometimes specifically hoping that something new would eventually happen. The framing of would the audience pay for Classic Plus assumes the audience hasn't already been paying. They have. They've been paying for years, they've been funding the Classic infrastructure team's existence with their subscriptions through one expansion replay after another. And what they've gotten back has mostly been content that already existed sold to them a second or third time. So when the Heroic and Epic Edition leak drops, and the immediate conversation turns to how much would you pay, I think it's worth stopping and asking the other question. The one that doesn't get asked enough. What do those subscribers actually deserve at this point? Not what would they pay.
They deserve to be farmed. And by the way, I completely understand because I'm gonna be one of them. I make content for World of Warcraft, and whenever Classic Plus comes out, if it would be as good as Turtle WoW, I'm going to play it. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's going to be trash, then of course not. Obviously, I'm not going to just make myself more debilitated by playing another Blizzard slop. But if it's going to be as good as Turtle WoW, I'm 100% playing it. No other MMO made me feel like World of Warcraft, and it's unfortunate. Because this is the only MMO that I truly enjoy. All the other MMOs is like, you know, it's like you had a perfect lady that disappeared, and now all you're doing is try to get a fleeting shadow of her. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just making that shit up. But still, I hope the sentiment came across. It's so crazy that nothing makes me feel like World of Warcraft, man. Like, literally nothing. It's just such a good game. Nobody came even close, and unfortunately, if Blizzard would be the one to host the only true Classic Plus server because they're deleting all the competition, then I'm going to have to pay them. I'm essentially a rat in a tunnel with one-way exit. There's nowhere else for me to go. I can't pivot, I cannot turn back, and there's nothing else I can do.
What's been earned over 5 years of paying for re-releases without getting anything genuinely new in the Classic space? That's not me being naive about Blizzard's business model. They're a company, they exist to make money, that's the deal everyone signed up for. But there's a real difference between we're selling you the next.
You can make money by making great product. I never understood that argument of, oh, they're just making money. They're just making money. They already made money. It's not like they weren't a multi-million-dollar company previously before the Activision merger. So, like, what are we talking about? It's such a cringe argument. I never understood the people who used it. Like, yeah, you can make money. Maybe you won't make insanely abysmal, like, insidious amounts of money. But you'll make really good money and you'll keep your product running for longer. Right now, the only real reason World of Warcraft hasn't died is because nobody tried to make a good MMO. Every MMORPG that came out after World of Warcraft died. And there's a reason for all of them. Obviously, we're not gonna go after every single MMO that died in the past 20 years because we're gonna make this video like 7 hours long. But every recent MMO that died, it was just garbage. Even those with insane backing, like New World, completely shattered. And it's all due to scams or pivoting last second, mismanagement mostly. And nobody can make it like World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft had the absolute luck of being made by great people. Right now, the current Blizzard development team, are standing on the shoulders of giants, and those giants carry them over some serious troubles. But it's slowly starting to erode. You're seeing more and more people leaving by the day, and one day it won't be enough. I think that once a good MMORPG would come into fruition and would nab all the WoW players from WoW, they would truly crumble. And they won't have any idea how to recoup and gain the people they've lost back.
Thing, and we're selling you the next thing on top of what you've
I don't want to be
already
poor
been
like
paying
millionaires,
for
I
the
want to be a
previous 5
billionaire.
things.
Base.
If Camelot ships with $69 and $89 premium editions on top of an existing subscription on top of years of re-release purchases, some of that loyalty is going to start running out, and it should. I'd be more excited about Camelot if I thought the people who've been quietly subscribing for half a decade were going to feel like that loyalty was being honored. Right now, given what the licensing leak implies about the monetization structure, I'm not sure they will.
Were the Barons always this orange? The tint was
There's a
burning
second
my
piece
eyelids.
of this leak that I have to be careful with, because it's less verified than the Steven tweet, but it's making the rounds and it's worth showing you what's being claimed. A photo has been circulating that appears to be an internal Blizzard franchise slate. Confidential tag in the corner.
Really?
The image shows a planned product roadmap across multiple categories, modern expansions, classic progression servers, and RTS called...
Where's WoD Classic? Everyone is still waiting. Like, Blizzard, where's the announcement? We want Garrison and table missions back. What, are you crazy? Like, you can't hold us for longer. You've held us hostage for too long. We want WoD Classic. Warlords of Draenor. So yeah, like Eric Camelot, wait, Wrath of the Lich King? So Wrath of the Lich King Classic would come with Classic Plus? That's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of weird.
Warcraft Chronicles, an action RPG called Arthas, mobile titles, arcade stuff.
Wait, Chronicles?
And in the middle of the slate, there's a
Hold?
well-labeled Camelot.
Warcraft 4?
And the timeline for it says, Live Ops.
Arthas
I cannot independently
ARPG.
verify the slate is real. Treat it as alleged. It might be a fake, it might be old, it might be misattributed, the provenance isn't clear yet. But if it is real, the words Live Ops matter, and they connect directly to the heroic and epic edition concerns I just walked through.
Yeah, I would like to have a Death Knight class in Classic Plus.
Wait,
yeah, I agree.
Let me back up and explain what Live Ops actually means, because some of you might not have heard the term unless you work in games. Live Ops is the gaming industry phrase for ongoing monetization streams. Seasonal content, battle passes, recurring engagement loops, designed to keep you logging in and keep you spending. It's not a phrase you use for a single purchase expansion, it's the phrase you use for a service product, where the business model is...
Yeah, alright, definitely don't exist in that timeline yet. I don't know, maybe, listen, maybe they'll pull some Chromie time shit. Maybe they'll do that, who knows.
Continuous revenue extraction...
I want Volpera and Dragons in Classic Plus. Surely. Surely, we all do. We all wait. I want more furry classes. You know what? I actually want Blizzard to abolish all non-furry classes and just make it World of Furrycraft. I think that would be great. You get to play as a Scaly, you get to play as a Wolfie boy. Oh, that's gonna be so much fun, man. We're gonna all be one great community and make every location Goldshire. That way we don't have to like go to a specific location. We can just be fully out there.
Over time. So if the leaked
That's
slate
perfect.
is real, Camelot isn't going to be a Classic Plus the way a lot of people have been hoping for. It's going to be Classic Plus as a live service, with scheduled content drops, probably battle passes, probably seasons, probably some flavor of recurring monetization stacked on top of your existing subscription and on top of whatever the heroic and epic editions cost on launch. To be fair, maybe the Live Ops label means something more benign and just refers to ongoing content updates. In a neutral sense,
No,
I don't
think Blizzard would give it such a title.
Without evidence. BlizzCon will give us the actual answer in September, but the language they chose, if the slate is genuine, points in a very specific direction, and it lines up uncomfortably well with the heroic and epic license push.
China already did it? What?
Let me give you one more piece
They
of
have
context
Classic Plus
that I
before
think
us?
most of the coverage is going to skip. There's a server in China called Titan Reforged that Blizzard launched in November 2025 through their NetEase partnership. Titan Reforged combines Vanilla, Burning Crusade, and Wrath of the Lich King into a single live endgame, with account-wide progression and 25 player raids scaled for the combined content.
Imagine Blizzard giving unique content to a completely different region. Why would you even do that? Like, why can't we get cool stuff like this as well? I truly don't get it. I know that WoW is really popular in China and like awesome, dude. Like, why not, right? It supports our game too. But why are we not getting the same version? It's just such a weird thing. They didn't have Season of Discovery. Oh man, they're getting bonuses now? They didn't have to suffer through SOD? That's crazy. It's like, dude, it's like rubbing salt on the wounds at this point.
It's wildly popular.
You're gonna tell me they don't have woke
Western
stuff either?
players have been asking for access for months.
That's
and Blizzard
crazy.
has said nothing. The reason this matters is that Titan Reforged proves Blizzard already has the technical infrastructure to deliver everything Classic Plus has been speculated to include. The architecture exists, the team that built it exists. The only question has ever been whether Blizzard would commit to a Western release with similar mechanics. The Camelot leak suggests they're committing. The question is on what terms.
Imagine if only China like getting Classic
Where
Plus.
does
That
that
would be
leave us?
that'd be crazy.
What we know with reasonable confidence, a product internally codenamed Camelot is real. Patch 1.60 is what's going to bring it, and Heroic and Epic Edition licenses have been pushed to the backend, which means Premium Edition tiers are part of the plan. The licensing system isn't a place where Blizzard fakes things by accident. What we strongly suspect, but can't yet confirm, the model is going to be live ops, which means seasonal content with some form of monetization beyond the base subscription and beyond the Premium Edition costs. The leaked franchise slate, if real, says this out loud. An older leak from October to 2025 described it the same way. Multiple separate sources converging on the same description is not nothing. What we don't know, the actual contents of those premium editions, whether early access is going to be included in the Epic tier the same way it has been for the last 2 retail expansions, whether the model is going to respect players who don't have 12 hours a day to grind, and whether years of subscriber loyalty are going to factor into how this product gets priced.
I mean, I don't know. It's just
That
it's
last
also
question is the one
contrived.
that's going to determine whether Camelot lands or whether it bounces, because the classic audience right now isn't streamers anymore. It's the 30-something with a job, the 40-year-old with kids, the people who came back to class.
Speak for yourself, brother. What the hell are you talking about? But no, I get what he's about to say. Like, don't make the game for streamers. Make it for the casual audience. 100%. 100%. Listen, as an aspiring streamer, I always say this: never listen to streamers. They only care about themselves. They only care about padding their own wallets. There's a reason why they're farming their lackeys on stream, siphoning gold from them, and like, oh, thank you so much. They don't even know their names. They don't care about them. Literally, never listen to streamers. Make the game for the people who actually play it.
Classic specifically because it didn't punish them for missing a week and didn't let other people buy advantages over them. If Camelot ships with Heroic and Epic editions that include early access on a classic-style server, the audience will read that as a betrayal of the design philosophy. But if it ships with cosmetic-only premium editions,
Yeah, never
and a
listen to me
level
either.
playing field
Exactly.
at launch, it could be the most important classic space release Blizzard has done in a decade. We won't know which until BlizzCon September 12th and 13th. That's the moment everything I just said either gets confirmed or gets corrected.
Why this keeps leaking? Because Blizzard wanted to. Why every single thing in World of Warcraft gets data mined? Because Blizzard wanted to. Blizzard can literally change the entire ecosystem if they would like to. They just don't. Either for laziness or for the sake of creating hype. Blizzard is in control of absolutely everything. Literally everything. If Guild Wars 2 guys managed to keep Guild Wars 3 under wraps until the very last day it was revealed, Blizzard can do the same. Sorry, bit my tongue there. But, again, Blizzard fault, surely. So, Blizzard is just, like, too lazy or just wanted to create hype on purpose. It's literally all by design.
One last thing before I let you go.
Apple, how old are you? I'm about to be 52 next week. Thank you for asking.
The fact that this leak happened at all tells you something.
Yeah,
Blizzard
I just
doesn't
got a
usually
great
leak
wig.
this badly. 3 separate signals in the last 6 months, the Creator Summit, the franchise slate, and now the licensing system, all pointing at the same product. Either Blizzard has gotten remarkably sloppy with internal information control, or they've decided that letting the leaks happen is a cheap way to build hype before the official reveal.
There we go.
I genuinely
This is
don't
the
know
answer.
which, but the pattern is worth noticing. If you've got information I don't, drop it in the comments. If you spotted something in the leaked slate I missed, point it out. And if any of this turns out to be wrong, tell me. I'd rather pull or correct the video than leave bad information up. Thank you.
You shouldn't put bad information up. I think you should, maybe a little bit waiting. But no, people want to cash in early on the Classic Plus hype. I get it. I do it the same. It's the content creation sphere. It's too difficult for us boys. But, yeah, I'm gonna leave a link in the description, guys. Make sure you actually watch this video for yourself. Give him a like. I like this guy. I watched a couple of his videos before. Just to kind of summarize, I think the main issue I have with all of this is the fact that you're gonna get like different versions. It just creates so much disparity within the community because it feels like someone who can't afford even a base subscription almost, right? They have to pay the base version of the game, they have to pay for subscription. Are you gonna Now you're gonna hover over them with like Epic Edition and all of that stuff, and you're gonna get like cool benefits. It's so weird. I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back here, but there's a reason why I only have one very cheap, affordable option of subscription. Okay, it's because I want everything to be equal. I can easily make a member only stream, or I can give the highest option possible, which is gameplay with you guys, because I already do that. I play with my community each day, so I can make it as a paid option and make it pricey, but I will never do that shit because I don't want to prioritize rich people over poor people in my community. I want everyone to be equal and everything to be fun, and I want to have the opportunity to play with all of y'all, no matter which type of household you came from, no matter your income. Like, I want fairness. It's so degenerate when I see Blizzard is doing the exact opposite. It's just so cringe, man. Like, I hate to see it.